In this video, you will learn how to install and set up an iCue-connected filtration monitoring device on a Donaldson pulse jet collector. If at any point you need installation assistance, please contact us at 833-310-0017 or iCue-support@donaldson.com. Before installation, please read the manual as it contains specific precautions for worker safety. Then unpack the boxes and make sure it includes the gateway, cellular antenna, magnets, differential pressure tubing straight fitting, compressed air straight fitting, T-fittings for differential pressure tubing, and the AC/DC power supply. The differential pressure tubing fittings may already be on the gateway, but if not, screw them in by hand into the dirty and clean ports. Also inside the box will be a quick start guide. Some collectors will come with the gateway already mounted on it, so in that case you'll only need to unpack one box. If the gateway didn't come installed, you'll need to select the mounting area. The gateway should be installed in a convenient location that does not interfere with any safety systems or the normal operation and maintenance of the collector. Typically, it's installed on the side of the collector, which is what we'll be showing in this video, but you could also install it on a magnetic surface, such as the control panel cover. When you're selecting the mounting area, keep in mind your vendors will need access to a compressed air line, electricity, and differential pressure clean and dirty tubing lines. Also, the preferred location is as high as feasible to increase the cellular signal strength. Before we install the gateway, know that there are 3 typical scenarios for wiring power to it. You can use 24 volts DC from the control panel. You won't need the AC/DC power supply in this case. You can use the AC voltage from the control panel. 110 volts is the most common, but 240 works as well. Or you can power it externally using AC voltage, which is what we will be showing in this video. Once you have selected the mounting area, it's time to install the gateway. First, ensure all energy sources, including electricity and compressed air, are put into a safe condition by following your facility's approved hazardous energy control procedures. Verify the device surface is clean and dry and apply the magnets, which have pre-installed adhesive, 1 in each corner. Also, you're going to need to put 2 on the AC/DC power supply. As the adhesive is curing, it will take about 20 minutes. Tighten the fittings up on the side of the gateway. Loosen the screws on the cover and remove it. Check to make sure that the LED tubes are pushed down. Sometimes they can come loose during shipping. Next, connect the AC/DC power supply to the gateway. Unscrew the nut and thread the black and red wires from the power supply into the gateway. You may need to trim the wires to ensure that no bare wire is exposed inside the gateway. Connect the red wire to the gateway. It goes on the far left-hand screw terminal marked with a plus. You can also connect the power supply after the gateway has been installed, but you may find it easier to do this on a cart. Connect the black wire to the gateway next to that screw terminal marked with a negative. Tighten the nut so that it's secure. And put the cover back on. Remove the metallic keeper and insulator from the magnets on the gateway and mount the device. Don't forget to consider accessibility and position as needed. Then remove the metallic keeper and insulator from the magnets on the AC/DC power supply and mount it to the collector. Once the gateway and power supply are in place, the next step is to complete the electrical connections. In this video, we'll be wiring the power supply to the junction box provided on the side of the collector. If the gateway and power supply came pre-installed on the collector, it's most likely wired in the same way, into the junction box. But know that you can wire the junction box to either the control panel or, like we'll be doing, an external power source. Remove the junction box cover and remove the switch. Insert the wire into the junction box and tighten the nut. A licensed electrician will connect the brown and blue wires to the switch and the switch to an external power source. Next, we will connect the differential pressure lines and the compressed air line. To connect the compressed air line, you will need the 1/4 inch NPT fitting and the solid blue tubing. On the DFE, Donaldson provides a port for the compressed air tubing. Install the NPT fitting onto the port. If the dust collector doesn't provide a compressed air port, you will need to use an unused port on the compressed air manifold. If no ports are available, the fitting can be installed in a T for incoming air to the manifold. Then install the solid blue tubing onto the port and onto the gateway. When you're done, restore the compressed air supply. Next, identify the clean air and dirty air ports. In general, the fan will be located on the clean side and the filters on the dirty side, but reference the dust collector manual if you need assistance identifying them. The DFE has 2 sets of ports, one on each side of the collector. This set will be connected to the gateway. The other set will be connected to the control panel. When installing a gateway on a collector that only has 1 set of ports, you will need to use the T-fittings to split them so they can go to both the gateway and the control panel. Insert a T-fitting into each port. Using the translucent blue tubing, connect the dirty air pressure sense line to the dirty port of the gateway and the clean air pressure sense line into the clean port of the gateway. Next, install any optional sensors, such as rotary airlock or bin level. We don't have any for this installation, but if you do and you need help installing them, make sure to contact us. The next step is final assembly. Connect the cellular antenna and hand tighten, and then restore power. Once the gateway is energized, it will start to go through its startup routine, which means that the lights will go from red to orange to green. This may take several minutes. The gateway is properly connected to the iCue cloud if the power, iCue service connectivity, and cellular strength LEDs are green. The data transmission LED may blank periodically as data is transferred. Now it's time to collect some information that you will need to register and activate the device in the iCue portal. You will need the gateway ID, which can be found on the bottom left-hand side of the gateway cover. You will need the name of the company, which is called the enterprise name in the iCue portal. You will need the name and address of the facility where you're installing the gateway. Remember that for many large organizations, the name of the company and the name of the facility will be different. For example, Donaldson is the name of the company and the Baldwin plant is the name of the facility. And then you will need to know some information about the dust collector, which you can find on the nameplate, typically located on the side of the collector, including the machine name, the manufacturer, the dust collector's model number, and the serial number. You will also need to know the number of pulse valves and the filter part number, which can be found on the nameplate. You may want to double check the filter itself just in case the type of filter was changed from the original design. The part number is etched onto the flange of the filter. And finally, you will need the user information for the employee at the company's facility who will be responsible for accessing the iCue portal. The last step is to activate and register the device in the iCue portal. Start by navigating to DonaldsonICue.com. If you have never logged in before, please call the customer care team at 833-310-0017 to set up your account. Once you have an account, click on Sign In.